Good day, ladies and gents. Welcome back to yet another exciting episode here by Electronic Engineering. And we quickly are going to very simply look at the controls of a digital multimeter. This little device is very nifty. It's a device that we will use very often because from mains measurements right through to the determination of your resistors, this device is going to help you solve a lot of questions that you have to ask when you are working with electricity. So, what's the first control on this device that we look at? Obviously, it needs to be switched on, isn't it? Yeah, so that one's got a power switch, and this model has got a turning switch. So the turning switch, you must be careful that you are remembering to switch it off when you are putting it back in your bag. The power model the same. Some multimeters are very clever, they will switch off by themselves. Some multimeters, like the ones we're giving to you guys, are backlight. That makes it very convenient for a dark space. So welcome to the dark side, and you say you're not afraid, you are enlightened. On the controls, you have the ranges in voltage, resistance, current, and in this model, continuity, beep, or diode test. So if I do that, the screen will change accordingly. Resistance, usually big. If there's no voltage applied, usually 0. On the other model, next to it, you also have voltage. In this case, a frequency counter. That little symbol shows frequency measurement, that's a square wave. Then you have your current. You've got your transistor gain, HFE, which is quite handy. You've got continuity and diode test. You've got a resistance range, and you have voltages ranges as well. Another type of multimeter one can get is an auto ranging multimeter. That multimeter is very clever because instead of you having to select the range, it is going to cycle through the ranges until it gets the reading for you. So that's quite convenient. So let's see. Controls, I remind you, is this dial holds, the display is an output, power is to be saved. So that's a multimeter. If you can set it to the setting of measurement that you need to do, you should be able to be measuring. One last thing is, be careful of the probes. You have red and you have black. Red usually hot signal, that's where the energy is. Black is reference 0 volts. It's not negative, sometimes it's negative more than positive. So black is usually at a much lower voltage than the red. It doesn't need to be 0, it can be at 5 volts when the red is at 10 volts. And the difference between them might be 5 volts. The probes are connected here, and depending if it's a current measurement or a voltage or a resistance measurement, you will decide where to put your red probe. The common is your reference, and that's usually for the black probe. So when you stick it in, just do it firmly. I want to measure resistance and voltage, and then I can take the probes, I can switch on the power, I can go to continuity, and there we go. So continuity, that's your controls. It will select what we are doing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very fast, dirty, easy way understanding the controls of your multimeter.